If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off.
Ricky Gervais has established himself as one of the most unapologetic critics of Hollywood's woke culture. Known for his sharp wit and unfiltered commentary, he has earned praise and backlash for his brazen approach. Through various appearances, notably at events like the Golden Globes, Gervais has openly expressed his disdain for political correctness, celebrity activism, and the growing cultural trend of woke ideology. Let's dive deeper into some of his most iconic critiques, examining how Gervais uses humor to address issues like political speeches, gender identity, and celebrity hypocrisy in the entertainment industry. Gervais on political speeches. A hallmark of Gervais's criticism lies in his opposition to political speeches by celebrities during award shows. He believes that celebrities often misuse these platforms to promote personal political beliefs rather than allowing audiences to enjoy an evening of entertainment. At the Golden Globes, Gervais famously instructed award recipients to thank their agent and their God and keep politics out of their speeches. "You're in no position to lecture the public about anything," he stated, pointing out that many stars are disconnected from the realities faced by everyday people. This statement drew a mixed response. Some viewers resonated with Gervais's sentiment, feeling that award shows have increasingly shifted away from celebrating artistry to becoming platforms for political and social statements. Others, however, criticized his stance, arguing that celebrities have a responsibility to speak out on issues that affect society. But regardless of the reactions, Gervais remained unyielding, committed to his belief that celebrities are often out of touch with the real-world struggles their audiences face. Targeting the Hollywood elite. Gervais doesn't shy away from calling out Hollywood elites directly. His humor often shines a light on the questionable ethics and double standards within the entertainment industry. For instance, he once joked about Ronan Farrow, an investigative journalist known for his work on exposing powerful figures like Harvey Weinstein, telling the audience, "He's coming for you," which drew nervous laughter and uncomfortable glances among Hollywood's elite. His remarks subtly hinted at the widespread concerns over abusive behavior and moral failings among powerful industry players, further amplifying the criticism against Hollywood's handling of scandals. By focusing on this topic, Gervais called attention to the uncomfortable truth that Hollywood has often chosen to overlook or minimize serious accusations against some of its most powerful figures, a fact that many in the industry would rather not face publicly. His humor in these moments strikes a nerve because it underscores the reality that beneath the glitz and glamour, Hollywood can be a morally ambiguous place, pushing boundaries with sensitive topics. One of Gervais's defining traits is his willingness to discuss topics others may find too sensitive to address publicly. At a Golden Globes event, he made a bold comment about documentaries on topics involving predatory behavior, such as Surviving R. Kelly and Leaving Neverland. In his speech, he sarcastically referred to them as pedophile movies, shocking the audience and sparking debate. This moment encapsulates Gervais's approach to comedy, using satire to highlight the darker aspects of human behavior. While some critics argue that jokes about such sensitive topics cross the line, Gervais's fans appreciate his fearless willingness to address uncomfortable realities. To him, comedy is a tool for tackling difficult subjects head-on, challenging audiences to confront them rather than avoiding or censoring them. Caitlyn Jenner and the dead naming controversy. Gender identity and dead naming using a transgender person's previous name are hotly debated topics, and Gervais has weighed in with his characteristic irreverence. In one instance, he drew criticism after referencing Caitlyn Jenner with her previous name, sparking accusations of insensitivity. Rather than apologizing, Gervais leaned into the controversy, using the backlash as material for his jokes. This willingness to critique the complexities around gender identity reflects Gervais's broader critique of political correctness. By addressing issues that many other comedians avoid, he invites conversations about how society approaches identity, free speech, and the boundaries of acceptable humor. For Gervais, these boundaries are often restrictive and counterproductive, as they prevent honest discussion and diminish the power of satire. Questioning the concept of transitioning. Gervais further tackled the topic of transitioning and self-identity with a humorous twist. He once quipped, "If you feel you're a woman, that makes you a woman," only to follow it up by comparing it to his own fictional identification as a chimpanzee. This comment underscores his belief that identity debates have veered into absurdity, questioning the limits of personal identification. By pushing these boundaries, Gervais challenges the fluidity of identity concepts, sparking debate on where society should draw the line. Critics view these jokes as offensive, arguing that they trivialize serious issues. Supporters, however, see it as a refreshing break from the constraints of political correctness, appreciating that Gervais addresses what he sees as the inconsistencies in woke ideology. Critique of woke culture's absurdities. Gervais has openly critiqued woke culture, particularly its inclination toward extreme sensitivity and self-righteousness. In a satirical video, he portrayed a wellness influencer, mocking the idea that celebrity opinions hold moral weight in political discussions. "If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime," he declared, humorously illustrating the conflation of political disagreement with moral failure. Through this satire, Gervais emphasizes the dangers of equating differing viewpoints with personal attacks, a trend that he argues stifles free expression. By ridiculing this mindset, he critiques the absurdity of a culture that, in his view, polices language and thought rather than encouraging open and honest debate. The hypocrisy of celebrity activism. Hypocrisy among celebrities is another recurring theme in Gervais's comedy. He frequently calls out the disconnect between Hollywood's public-facing woke image and the questionable practices of the corporations behind many major film studios. In one Golden Globes monologue, he pointed out that stars championing social causes often work for companies with questionable labor practices. "You say you're woke, but the companies you work for. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent." He joked, exposing the irony in the moral grandstanding of celebrities who profit from companies with poor ethical records. This jab resonated with viewers who shared Gervais's skepticism about the sincerity of celebrity activism. His critique suggests that much of Hollywood's support for social justice causes is performative rather than genuine, intended to build a positive public image rather than to drive real change. Gervais vs. Steve Carell, a lighthearted feud? Gervais's humor also extends to personal relationships, as demonstrated in his playful digs at Steve Carell, the star of the American version of The Office. While Gervais created the original British version, he jokes that Carell often receives the credit. "You probably know me as the creator of The Office." "No, you don't, do you? You think Steve Carell did it all," he quipped, hinting at the possibility of underlying tension. Though these remarks are likely made in jest, they highlight Gervais's willingness to poke fun at himself and his peers. His comedic style is self-aware, acknowledging his place in the industry while simultaneously challenging its norms. Whether or not there's actual tension between him and Carell, Gervais's jokes add a layer of complexity to their relationship, inviting audiences to question the dynamics of creative recognition and ownership. Conclusion: Gervais's legacy as a comic provocateur. Ricky Gervais's critiques of Hollywood, woke culture, and political correctness have solidified his reputation as a comic provocateur. His willingness to tackle sensitive topics and challenge the entertainment industry's status quo distinguishes him from his peers. By blending humor with social commentary, Gervais compels audiences to confront difficult issues and question widely accepted norms. As he continues to push boundaries, Gervais's unapologetic style will likely remain polarizing. Some will find his approach refreshing, while others view it as controversial or offensive. But regardless of public opinion, Gervais's commitment to unfiltered humor ensures that his legacy will be one of boldness, challenging Hollywood and society to reconsider the value of satire in addressing uncomfortable truths. Whether you agree with his perspective or not, Ricky Gervais has undeniably left an indelible mark on comedy and culture. His voice remains a powerful reminder of the importance of humor as a tool for critique, even as society becomes more divided on issues of identity, morality, and free speech.